Well, today, parts of San Diego are under an excessive heat warning. Temperatures expected to rise, especially in our mountain desert areas. It's going to get hot out there. Thanks for being here at 6 a.m., everyone. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Anna Laurel in for Netta. The temperatures are expected to only go up from here for the rest of the week. We have team coverage this morning. With increased temperatures comes an increased risk of wildfires. CBS 8's Chris Groh is live to tell us what firefighters are doing to get ready.
But first, we turn to our meteorologist, Evan Irani, for a look at your microclimate forecast. How hot are we talking here, Evan?
So today, upper 80s, low 90s are going to be commonplace for our inland valleys all the way to your mountaintops. Along the coast, that's where you'll find some of that relief. You're going to be in the 70s. Just a couple hours from now, 4 hours exactly, actually, we are going to see that excessive heat warning take effect across our mountains and our deserts. Deserts are going to be around 111, climbing to close to 120 by the end of this week. It's all as this ridge of high pressure expands in our direction. That means today is not even the warmest. We've got even hotter temperatures expected later on this week. We will likely peak in that Thursday through Sunday stretch, about a 4-day stretch where we're really going to feel it. So with all of this going on, we of course want to keep you up to date on how to maybe beat the heat and everything you need in the process. And with the heat wave that we have on the way, firefighters are on high alert this morning. They're warning everyone to be mindful about doing things that can start to spark a fire. CBS 8's Chris Groh is live in Claremont with more on how crews are preparing for this week's heat.
Good morning, Evan. And look, they're not only on high alert, but they're also putting out the word here that residents need to make sure that they're doing their part as well, too.
With the heat wave coming, the brush is going to die off even more than it already has. You can see the grass has already died off. Now the bigger bushes, they're starting to get more brown in them. So it's real important we're creating that defensible space around our homes now.
Yep, so that's the number one thing that you can do. Create defensible space if you have a large property there and area to do that. That's going to help you protect your home and those who live inside. Now, if you haven't done and created that defensible space yet, it's time to maybe think about when it is that you are doing it. Try to do it when we're not in our peak heat hours, which are expected to be from pretty much 10 a.m. on starting today. Now, I've got my jacket on, but it's going to be coming off here pretty soon in about 4 hours. This is the time in which it is going to be cool enough here to get that work done, not only for yourself, well, that's not necessarily what we're talking about. We're talking about if there is a spark from any type of machinery that you use, want to make sure that it's not so hot, not so dry out, that could create its own fire. Now, some other things that you can do: not throw your cigarette butts out the window. Now's the perfect time to start thinking about quitting, for instance, when you're driving. The other thing is to check your vehicles, make sure that nothing's dragging underneath. Now, something else that you can do, which doesn't require a whole lot of physical labor, is make sure that you have your go bag prepared, as well as an exit plan, a strategy just in case something does happen. And of course, you can always go to CAL FIRE's website as well as ours for some helpful tips about how you can prevent and mitigate anything from happening in and around your property, but also in our community. Eric and Anna.
All right, Chris, thank you. And with that heat wave that's expected here, a reminder, we're working for you on sharing ways that you can stay safe in this heat and off the trails.
Extreme heat can really impact our heart, lungs, and kidneys. It can also lead to mental fog, and that impacts our work. Doctors say when it's hot, it's so important to drink a lot of water. You should take frequent breaks in the shade, avoid strenuous outdoor activities, especially between 1 and 3 p.m., and wear light-colored, lightweight, and loose-fitted clothes. Doctors also say avoid alcohol because it is so dehydrating. And as a reminder, because of the excessive heat warning, some hiking trails are closed this morning. Cedar Creek Falls and Three Sisters Falls are closed. Park rangers will be in the areas to inform hikers who get there to the trailheads that they're closed. Cleveland National Forest authorities say they expect to have the trails closed through Thursday.
Well, to keep up with the latest forecasts, your weather alerts, wherever you are, download the CBS 8 app from Google Play or the Apple App Store. Let's get to some other local headlines here this morning. A Camp Pendleton Marine has been arrested. This after officials questioned him after a missing 14-year-old girl was found inside his barracks on base.
This is just a wild story. Right now, the girl is home with her family in Spring Valley. She went missing June 10th and was discovered on the base 2 weeks later. A Camp Pendleton spokesperson confirms the authenticity of this picture. It was leaked. It shows a Marine getting arrested on base. Now, the teenager's aunt said on social media Her niece was sold to a soldier for sex. The family is now calling for transparency, accusing military officials of trying to cover the whole thing up.
I will not rest until the whole world knows, and those responsible are held accountable and justice is served.
Now, so far, no one has been charged with any crimes here. A U.S. Marine spokesperson says it's all under investigation.
This morning, dozens are calling for the drop of charges against 3 UC San Diego student workers. They were arrested and they now face felony charges. This large crowd outside the Central Courthouse yesterday. The 3 student workers protested back in May outside UCSD's new marine conservation facility. They're accused of writing, quote, fair wages in sidewalk chalk outside the marine conservation building. The workers say the university isn't honoring their new contract.
2 felony charges for writing with sidewalk chalk on campus. That is not rational behavior. That is an abuse of power. That's intimidation, and it's designed to silence us and scare us.
In a statement, campus police say the vandalism caused permanent damage, costing up to $12,000. The 3 student workers were supposed to be arraigned yesterday, but the DA's office says police didn't file the necessary paperwork, so that arraignment did not happen.
This morning, the San Diego Union Tribune now has a new owner. A billionaire bought the Los Angeles Times and UT for $500 million back in 2018. Well, word came yesterday he sold San Diego's longest running newspaper to Alden Capital. That's an affiliate of Media News Group. According to a memo sent to staff from the Times president, the sale was finalized yesterday. That memo also indicated difficult staffing decisions are on the horizon. The Atlantic reports now that Alden Capital owns the Chicago Tribune, and in 2021, after acquiring it, it decreased newsroom staff by a quarter within just 2 days. This morning, Rainbow and Fallbrook now have the freedom to leave the San Diego County Water Authority. The County Commission voted yesterday to allow Fallbrook and Rainbow to detach. That means ratepayers will now vote whether to leave the County Water Authority and start getting their own water from the district in Riverside. Supporters say it'll make water bills less expensive in those areas, but those in opposition say the rest of the county will have to absorb the cost.
There's a lot of farmers and, people who have groves and stuff that grow avocados and lemons are really suffering from the fees that are in the bills currently. So I'm seeing a lot of feedback from today's post that they're really excited.
The detachment would benefit farmers in Fallbrook and Rainbow, and it would drive out farmers in Lakeside and Valley Center and other areas.
Local leaders say if Fallbrook and Rainbow leave the Water Authority, it'll result in other customers paying $200 million more for water over the next decade.
Yeah, water, one of the many things that has gone up here, along with garbage and electricity rates and everything else.
Rent, we just found out, higher than San Francisco.
Higher than San Francisco.
Yikes.
So, yeah, communities are now going out saying, look, if it's going to be this expensive, we're just going to do this thing ourselves.
Yeah.
So we'll have
the California way.
Maybe continuing.
Pioneers here.
Well, the sunshine tax the past 2 months, we were kind of paying and not getting much of our investment.
That's right.
Now, full swing.
Now we're overloading it.
Now we're
It's happening a little too quick
maybe
for some people's liking. San Diegans have a sweet spot, and it seems like we may be a little bit above that sweet spot for the next couple of days. Second heat wave of the summer season is upon us here. It begins today, lasts all the way through Sunday. So if you have some time to get outside and enjoy the warm weather, coastline's probably the place that you'll be more comfortable spending some time. It's all thanks to this building ridge of high pressure. So how hot are we going to get today? Well, today's just day 1, so we're going to keep the warm up going between now and your upcoming weekend. It looks like the hottest stretch is going to be about Thursday through Sunday. But for today, your Tuesday, Santee, El Cajon, 88 degrees this afternoon, 84 for La Mesa along the coast. PB making it to 71, La Jolla 68 degrees. We'll take you up to North County, 84 for San Marcos, 89 for Escondido, and you head as far east as Ramona, and we're looking at highs in the mid-90s this afternoon. Over the mountains, same situation. Campo 94, Alpine 91, Julian looking at a high of 88, and Borrego Springs and Ocotillo Wells 111 this afternoon. So without fail, your coastline is the place that is going to stay in mostly about the 70s, mid-upper 70s at that. And then the 5-day forecast shows that inland, at least, we don't have much of a change. We're in the low 90s out there. Marine layer is much more shallow than it has been for previous mornings. You can see it's really just hugging the immediate coastline, stretching maybe a few miles east of the 5. But beyond that, we are going to be off to a sunny remainder of the day. That marine layer will burn off within the next hour or two, and then that gives us plenty of time to see those temperatures climb toward the afternoon and the evening. Now is the time to get outside, maybe walk the dog, get the workout in if you work out outside. 59 for Escondido right now, 57 for Ramona, 58 for Poway. In downtown San Diego, we're at 63 degrees. So what we see in comparison to 24 hours ago is that along the coast where we have those clouds, we're a little bit cooler than we were say 24 hours ago, but for most spots east of the coast, Ramona and Julian were 6 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago. Borrego Springs and Ocotillo Wells 7 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago. And these numbers are just going to keep climbing from here. Now let's take a look at how traffic is shaping up. So here's a look at border wait times right now from the CBP website. The wait at the San Ysidro Port of Entry, only about 10 minutes right now. Otay Mesa Port of Entry going to take you a little bit longer. Looks like it'll be about 65 minutes. You can head to our website, cbs8.com/traffic. It'll let you know what our highways look like once you get into San Diego County. Back to you.